Before the age of measured time, there was only consequence. Every wound struck its truth the instant it was made. Every poison claimed the blood the moment it entered. Every blade, every flame, every broken bone obeyed the oldest law of existence. What happened arrived immediately. Life and death were not separated by mercy, delay, or breath. They were fused into a single indivisible instant, and no mortal hand had ever questioned that order. Until one mind did. He was neither healer nor priest, neither battlefield alchemist nor maker of common remedies. He was a temporal dissenter, an architect of sequence, a scholar who believed fate was not a wall, but a mechanism. To him, suffering was not merely injury, it was timing. He studied the moment between strike and collapse, between venom and silence, between impact and ruin. In that impossible sliver, he discovered a truth buried beneath all pain. Harm was not only what happened, it was when it was allowed to arrive. And so he began his greatest heresy. Not to cure death, not to prevent suffering, but to negotiate with inevitability. The vessel he forged was impossibly precise. Its glass did not simply contain liquid, it held intervals. Its surface bent light unnaturally, shimmering between moments, as if it existed slightly before and after itself. Golden rings circled its body, each one tuned to a fraction of a second, each one designed to bend causality around what lay within. Two slender blades crossed the chamber like seals over a forbidden door. They were not decoration, they were containment. Something inside had once tried to escape. Within, the vial churned a deep, luminous blue essence, not quite fluid, not quite light. It pulsed slowly, deliberately, like a heartbeat out of rhythm with reality itself. The scholars who later found it would argue for decades over its nature, but the first creator gave it a colder name: distilled postponement. It did not heal flesh, it did not strengthen bone. It did not resist poison, fire, or steel. It only delayed the moment when their consequences became true. And when the Chronovial of the Withheld End was finally sealed, time itself seemed to pause around it, not broken, not empty, paused. The first subject was already condemned. A fatal wound was chosen, precise, undeniable, impossible to survive. The blade entered cleanly. The watchers expected collapse, blood, breathless silence. Instead, nothing happened. The subject did not fall. No blood spilled, no pain crossed his face. The body continued as if untouched, as if the world had struck and missed. For one impossible moment, the chamber was silent. Then the Creator smiled. The wound had not vanished. It had not been healed, denied, or undone. It had merely been locked behind an unseen threshold, recorded with perfect accuracy, and held away from the body that owed it. A ledger of suffering, deferred. When the effect began to fade, the delayed damage returned in slow increments. Strength drained in measured pulses. Flesh weakened as if remembering itself piece by piece. Death, once instantaneous, now arrived with terrible patience. The Creator called it success, others called it heresy. For the Chronovial had not granted survival. It had granted time between cause and consequence. Once the Chronovial entered the hands of warriors, the battlefield changed. Those who drank from it became terrifying anomalies. Blades still cut them. Fire still scorched them. Arrows still pierced armor and flesh. Poison still entered the bloodstream. Impact still broke bone. But the consequences did not arrive. Not yet. Wounds opened but refused to bleed. Bones fractured but did not fail. Venom coursed through veins without claiming the heart. The drinker moved through devastation untouched by its weight. Fighting beyond exhaustion, beyond mortal limits, beyond reason. For a time they seemed impossible to kill. Soldiers watched enemies laugh as steel passed through them. They saw warriors walk through flame. stand beneath volleys of arrows, rise from wounds that should have ended them instantly. A fatal strike no longer guaranteed victory. A dying fighter could still answer. A doomed soldier could still reshape the outcome of war. If harm could be delayed, then defeat could be stolen from the brink. If death itself could be deferred, then fate was no longer absolute, it was negotiable. But the Chronovial did not forgive. It only waited. The first known bearer survived 3 battles in a single day. Witnesses claimed he laughed as blades pierced him. Arrows lodged in his chest and did not slow him. Flames climbed across his armor and failed to bend his stride. He fought as if the world had forgotten how to harm him. By afternoon, soldiers believed he had become something beyond mortal. By dusk, he knelt. At twilight, he screamed. By nightfall, there was nothing left but silence. When the Chronovial's effect finally waned, the body remembered everything. Every cut, every burn, every fracture, every drop of poison. Every blow that had been denied its moment returned at once. Not as a sequence, not as a wound to be endured, but as a single catastrophic truth. He did not fall. He unraveled. The battlefield that had worshipped him as invincible learned the true law of the Chronovial. Delayed ruin is still ruin, and all debts collect. The flaw was never in the vial. It was in those who relied on it. Some drank too deeply, some drank too often. Some mistook delay for protection and postponement for salvation. They began stacking moments of borrowed safety upon one another, building impossible lives out of unpaid consequences. Their bodies became timelines of deferred catastrophe. Every heartbeat was a ledger waiting to close. Every battle added another entry. Every wound became a promise. The Chronovial allowed them to survive the instant, but not the truth behind it. It took the blade meant for now and scheduled it for later. It turned catastrophe into a sequence. It transformed death into something patient. And in that patience lay its greatest danger. Because given time, even the doomed could change the world. A dying warrior could kill a king. A poisoned assassin could reach the throne. A burned messenger could cross the fine bridge before collapsing into ash. The Chronovial did not protect the body. It protected the moment. And sometimes, one stolen moment was enough to alter history. After the 4th subject unraveled, the chrono-alchemists sealed the vial away. They did not destroy it. They could not. The fluid within resisted finality, just as it resisted harm. Attempts to empty it failed. Attempts to shatter it left the glass whole. Attempts to bury it ended with the vessel quietly reappearing, always full, always waiting. So they hid it where time had already failed, in a chamber beneath a forgotten observatory, surrounded by instruments that hummed with stolen starlight. The Chronovial was locked behind rings of fractured seconds and blades of suspended causality. There it remained for ages, not lost, not sleeping, waiting. And when it was finally found again, the scholars who studied it came to the same impossible conclusion as its creator. The liquid within did not prevent harm. It postponed it. Those who carry the Chronovial of the Withheld End understand its bargain. You will not feel the blow when it lands. You will walk through fire before the burn can claim you. You will fight after the killing strike has already entered your flesh. You will become something beyond fragile, untouched, relentless, terrifying. For a time, but time is patient. It remembers every wound denied its hour. It remembers every broken bone, every poisoned breath, every blade that was forced to wait. The Chronovial grants no mercy, no absolution, no escape from fate. Only a choice. Not whether ruin comes, only when. And when the debt finally arrives, it brings everything with it. That is the truth, carved into every unseen second surrounding the vial. You are not escaping your end. You are only withholding it. And the world always remembers what it is owed.